What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Buckeye and Bluegrass Outdoor Gear Review. This week, we are talking about the Bushnell CelluCORE trail camera. And I thought this would be a good week to bring this up because with turkey season ending in a lot of the country, the next step in the outdoor and hunting industry is going to be deer. It's getting time to get those cameras out, start scouting deer, see who made it through the year, who didn't. Does are dropping fawns, and those bucks are starting to put on that headgear. And that's what we all want to see, and that's what we all want to figure out is what bucks are we going to be chasing this year. Now, the Bushnell CelluCORE V20 trail camera, I used this last year. I had two of them. I ran them, and I will say I picked these up for $50 a piece. They were 50% off at midwayusa.com. I did buy these with my own money. We do not have a sponsorship or any type of association with Bushnell, so they're not paying us to do this. They're not telling us what to say. This is 100% truth. This is 100% my experience with this camera. My co-host Josh actually went and picked one of these up this year per my recommendation on it because I did enjoy having this camera. This was my first cellular camera. There's a couple more out there that I want to try that I'm going to get to next, but for right now I am running the Bushnell CelluCORE. I love the simplicity of it, right? I love how easy it is to use. So when you open this up, you have your battery pack on this side, and you'll be able to see right here, you have a switch and 3 LED lights. It goes from camera status, battery life, and cellular signal. The easiest way to use this is flick it on and you'll see, I don't know how well you can see it here, but you'll see 3 LED lights. First one, camera status, it'll either be green, yellow, or red. Right? Green, you're good. Yellow, and then red obviously tells you there's something wrong. The battery life in these was actually pretty good. So I had one set up on a trail, and I had one set up over a corn pile. Now, obviously, the corn pile got a lot more pictures taken with it than just putting one over a trail and waiting to see what happens. However, I will say that even with, 50 to 60 pictures a night, the battery life in this was 2 to 3 months. I want to say 2 to 3 months before I had to switch out batteries, which personally to me that's phenomenal because if I'm receiving that many pictures, then I am definitely excited about not having to go into the woods. One of the reasons we want to use cellular cameras is so we can stay out of those hot spots, so we can keep those stands and keep those sites fresh for when we do actually get out to hunt. The price point on this camera, like I said, I bought these when they were on sale, but you're looking at about $100 per camera, which in my opinion, it is worth that 100%. These cameras kept going all year long. We had some negative 20-degree days, and they were still snapping pictures. It does have the ability on the bottom here to add in a solar panel or just a different battery if you wanted to buy the kit and screw it in there. That was not a function I used, honestly. I didn't spend the money on the solar panel. I did not use the strap either. I actually bought the kit and I screwed it into the tree with this little 90-degree camera arm from Wild Game Innovations. But the cellular signal, I will say, it had its good days and it had its bad days. One camera, it seemed like I did have to go in there quite a bit. Okay, I guess quite a bit's not the right word, but I did have to go in there about once a month to turn the camera off, reset it, and then get it to reconnect signal. Which, in the grand scheme of things, you know, when you're wanting to scout and things are getting hot and heavy, everybody wants to check their camera about every 2 weeks, it seems like. So just having the ability to, even on the bad camera, go in there once a month was a game changer, in my opinion. So I highly recommend this camera. Like I said, we are not sponsored by them. We are not affiliated by them. I am impressed with the level, with how clear the pictures came out. That was very impressive. I'll throw some up here on the screen. And I was also impressed with the durability of these cameras. I had one fall out of a tree, raccoon. I think a raccoon jumped on it or something trying to get up a tree. Ended up knocking the camera down. I got a bunch of pictures staring at the sky one day, and so I had to go in there and fix it. But it does have a little locking side right here if you wanted to set it up and put a lock through it. Maybe you're running this on public land and you don't want anybody to get into your camera. You can go ahead and lock it. I will say on the price point for using these cameras, I don't know your budget. I don't know how much you're wanting to spend. For the premium package of using this cameras and using the cell service is $14.99 per camera at the time of filming this, right? So if I have 2 of these, I'm paying $14.99 per camera. And then any more after that, obviously it's another $14.99. So I do like the easiness of having the app. So it's not going to text straight to your phone. It actually goes straight to your app, and that alerts you anytime you get new pictures. And that was very helpful. One thing about the app that I'll say I did not like was the fact that the only options I had were to turn it sending pictures to me off or to turn them on. I do wish that I could set it up for, let's say, 6 a.m. every morning, and then just get all my pictures at 6 a.m. instead of having to turn the camera off or turning the notifications on the app off and then waiting until the next day to turn it back on. It would have been very helpful, like I said, if I could have just set it for specific times, 6 a.m., noon, 7 p.m., and then it just sends it at those times. That's one of the things that I was not a fan of. But personally, I think that's just me being picky and choosy. I would say that 100% for the price point of this camera. I did not really lose signal on it much. And there was a couple times on one camera, like I said, that I did need to go out and reset the camera. But when it comes to technology, nothing's perfect. So I will say I will be getting some more of these cameras. I'm in the process currently of ordering 2 to 3 more. Just picked up a new piece of property that I can hunt this year, so I can't wait to get these out there and start taking inventory and figuring out, if there's any shooter bucks in the area, anything that we want to chase. Like I said, Josh is using one of these down in Kentucky this year, in an area where he really does not get a whole lot of cell signal. So I think that'll definitely be the test, seeing how well in a low cell signal area, how well these cameras do. And this video, even though we are not sponsored by Bushnell, we are in fact sponsored by Cast Cray Outdoors. Remember, if you're going to go over to castcrayoutdoors.com and get all of your crappie fishing gear, anything you need from bass, crappie, perch, they got you covered. When you go over there, make sure you use code BNB10 and get yourself 10% off on your entire order over there, guys. Make sure you let them know that the Buckeye and Bluegrass boys sent you over. We appreciate getting those phone calls and those text messages, letting us know that people are using our code. It warms my heart, and I know Rick over at Cast Cray Outdoors greatly appreciates it. This is kind of a shorter gear review video because there isn't really a whole lot to say about these cameras as far as cellular cameras go. I mean, at the end of the day, it's worth the money. And if having that ability to stay out of a honey hole, you know, you're in on a buck's bedding area or a place that you really just don't want to booger it up too much before season, having these cameras is a game changer. So if it is legal in your state, I highly, highly recommend picking these things up. We just dropped a podcast episode today, actually, talking about trail cameras. And I think we're going to do another one here where we're going to get more in-depth with trail cameras. So, like I said, Midway USA is where I picked this up. They might be running a deal on them currently. But turkey season's over, which means we're moving on to the big boys. We're moving on to whitetail deer. Everybody's, like I said, they're going to start getting cameras out. They're going to start scouting, figuring out who made it through the season. That's our next step. We're going to be looking at different stand locations. And if you're wanting a good way to get as much knowledge of an area as you can before going in, so you stay out of that area as much as possible, cellular cameras are the way to go. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there, guys. Thank you so much to everybody who subscribes to our YouTube, our Spotify. Make sure you hit those notification bells so you guys know when we do post. If you're not already, head over to our Facebook page, guys. We got a Facebook page, and it is set to private. We were having a lot of bots and a lot of stuff like that. So make sure you head over and check them out. And yeah, I'm going to close it here. Thank you so much, guys. Remember to head over and check out our sponsor, Cast Cray Outdoors. I want to thank them for everything they do. Use code BNB10. And remember, guys, sit still, shoot straight, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.